This video is all about the sequence view area and how you can use that to take control of the colors and objects in your embroidery designs. And so perhaps to get started, I will click on the custom shape library and open up a custom shape so that you can see that not only is it available in my work area, but it also shows in the sequence view area. If I make a second baseball bat, it will show me that there is a color palm leaf and has 2 baseball bats. Obviously, if you copy another one, there's now 1, 2, 3 baseball bats. And so the sequence view area is organized by colors and also by numbers. And so notice, for example, if I select the second 2 baseball bats and give them a different color, then my sequence view will show 1 baseball bat in palm leaf and then 2 baseball bats in the apple green. And so this is your sequence view area, and you could use this to change the sequence. Now, one thing that can be helpful when you're using your sequence view area is to hide the properties area. And so properties is great for design information, for notes, and oftentimes other information that shows in the properties area. But when you're working on your sequence view, you can click the button up here on the top. It's called properties, and when you hover or click on that button, it will hide or show the properties box. So if I hide the properties box, it leaves all of the space available for the sequence view. And that way, if you have large numbers of shapes and colors, there's lots of room for everybody on the side here. Now, you can select a color by clicking on it, and notice down at the bottom I have arrows, so I can make this color be the first color, I can make this color be the last color. Essentially, whatever comes first will happen first, whether that be embroidering or digital cutting. Whatever comes last will happen last, whether, again, that's embroidery or cutting. So the idea is the beginning is at the top and the end is at the bottom. And so if you wanted this color green to be the first, you could move it up to the top, or if you wanted it to be the last, you could move it to the bottom. And of course, there's up 1 at a time or down 1 at a time. And so that's kind of how you can manage your sequence area. There are also filters at the top. So notice that in here it says all colors, but if I only wanted to see the palm leaf color, it doesn't hide anything in my design area. It only simply shows the color in my sequence area that I asked for. So you can simply go back to all colors to see all the colors in your design. Now, why don't we try this with embroidery stitches? And so I'm going to use my design finder and just double click on this bunny so that we can see all of the colors of the design of the bunny nicely shown in our sequence area. This is essentially the sewing sequence of your design. It's going to match the colors in your slow redraw bar at the top. And I can easily click on a color to select it. And notice when it's an embroidery element that when I select it, it highlights it in a highlight color. And so I can easily tell exactly what it is that I'm selecting. It also puts a transformation box around my selection. And of course, when I click on this color in my design palette, it will find the closest match in the color palette at the bottom below. And if you want, you could change to a different shade. And so that is kind of how this all works. Now, notice in your sequence view area that the colors are all condensed or made small, but there's a plus beside them, and if I click on that plus, it will show me that there are actually 8 segments in the white color. And if I click the plus beside the next one, it'll show me number 9 through 15. And technically, if I right click, I could say to expand all the colors, and that would make my sequence view nice and long, because I can literally scroll through every single piece that makes this embroidery design and take control. And you can use this to select one specific piece of a design. So for example, if I wanted to just select the bunny rabbit's tummy, and I try to click on it, when I select the whole design, it may be all grouped together. But if I can find the color that is the tummy and then find the piece, I can use the sequence view area to select just the right piece. And then maybe you want to change that to be its own, unique color in your design. And so this is kind of the idea with your sequence view. There is a stitch filter at the top. So not only can you filter by colors, you can also filter by type of stitch. So if you just wanted to be able to select the run stitches, or just be able to select the fill stitches, or all segments. So these are filters at the top that will hide your segments. I'll also point out, if you right click, you can not only expand all of the colors, but collapse all the colors, which will make them small again, which is essentially the same as clicking the plus or minusing the plus, to expand or condense a color. So one more thing about the right click on all of this is you have the ability to hide other. So if I select this one color and now I choose hide other, all of the other elements of the design will hide in your screen and you will only see the color that you selected. And of course, if you right click over top, you can go back to show all again. Within the actual sequence area, there are eyeballs to turn on and off individual colors. So if I don't want to see, if you'd like to kind of see the design as it gets built, this was the last color, that's the color before, and the color before, and the color before. And so by turning off the colors, I can see, and you don't have to do it in sequence. If you just want to see one specific color, you can turn off, as many colors kind of as you want to, and just leave the ones that you do. And so that will make it easier for selecting and isolating certain parts. And once again, I can right click and say show all to turn everything back on. So really, this is your sequence view, and there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. One more thing I'll say about the sequence view is when you click on an area and it highlights it in this light blue color, both in the design and on the tree itself. If you don't like the color blue, perhaps your design is all shades of blue and so it's not helpful, you can click on the program preferences. And it's on the tab that says view that there is the option to turn this on and off, first of all, by unchecking it, or leave it on but change the color. And so instead of a blue highlight, I could have a yellow highlight on the design itself, but in the tree, instead of a blue highlight, maybe I'd rather have a pink highlight or something. And you can choose, not only can you choose from these selected colors, but if you click more, you can choose from a larger color palette or custom, and now literally I can draw any color that I want and say okay and make that to be my highlight color. And so when I say okay, now when I select something, it will highlight in yellow, but over here in kind of a new kind of bluey green color. And so you're able to take control of the colors of the highlights in your sequence area. And this has been a really great video describing all the different sort of uses of the sequence view area.